3, 2, and 1. Hello, everybody. My name is Daryl Beckers.
And I'm Allie Palmer.
And we are thrilled to share our enthusiasm for BHM schools. I had the privilege to teach at BHS for 12 years.
And I was a student at BHS for 4 years, and I was also at BCMS. So I'm a BHM Schools alum, and I'm really passionate about the education I got there.
So we're excited to share out some interest that we're getting from the community member, and we are going to co-lead a Vote Yes campaign, and we're excited to share some ideas that we have. Let me quick share my screen. And we'll get into our quick presentation. Allie and I have worked on other projects before, and we are both concerned about pending budget cuts coming up in the millions of dollars for BHM schools. My first three reasons that I'm concerned about BHM schools all start with M. My son Marcus is going on to 7th grade next year at BCMS. Madeline is going to be in 3rd grade at Tatanka, and Molly is going into preschool. We will have 3 kids in BHM schools next year. This is a concern that we have. One of the reasons that I drive 38 miles on purpose to work is because I love where I live. And when I was at other jobs, people would ask me, Daryl, when are you going to move into the loop of 694 and 494? And I kept asking them things like, when can you show me a school district that competes with BHM? So those are the primary things that I'm thinking about when I'm getting actively involved in this campaign.
There's a big misconception we foresee coming from launching this campaign and the possible levy, so we want to address those right away. The recent building structures from the 2017 bond is something that people are definitely going to look at and are looking at in the community and are confused why now again BHM Schools is asking for tax money. Well, levy is for learning, bond is for building, so they are not related whatsoever. The bond was separate from school funding and the education that is happening at BHM schools. So they are separate, and because of school funding is really complicated, it's something that Mr. Beckers and I are trying to learn more about and encourage all of you to learn more about, as it is really complicated. So that is why there's a need for a levy, because it's complicated and it's very different from them asking for money to make buildings. So this is why we are going after and pursuing the levy.
So we have a plan of action that we've come up together, and the first thing we need to do is to rally the troops. And to do that, I'm going to invite people that are interested in taking on leadership positions this summer. We need to get the message out early of why a levy is necessary and why we need to preserve the excellence in education that BHM Schools is known for. So I'm going to rally the troops on Thursday, the 20th of June at my house for a luncheon. You're welcome. We live just north of the high school at 2006 Copper Court. And in the form that you're going to get shortly, you're going to get that address and information if you're interested.
And after we rally the troops, we are going to bring us all to the school board meeting on Monday, June 24th at 7 p.m. at the DES boardroom. That's at Discovery Elementary School. And we're just going to be there and be present and verbalize that we want this to go to levy. We want the community to share their voice and want them to get to vote yes for avoiding these budget cuts.
We're going to take the information that we gather in step 1 and put it into action in step 3, and we're going to use channels of communication like social media and mailings and phone banks, and we're going to engage the community in conversations in step 3 to be able to educate the community on the value of this.
And once we educate and we advocate for voting yes, we're going to help people get to the voting polls and emphasize on the importance of voting and registering to vote, so then people can get to the voting polls and vote yes, so we can have a successful campaign and avoid the budget cuts.
We look forward to celebrating in step 5 in November after a successful campaign together. Our committee, the two of us, have 3 areas of foci that we want to look into, we want to explore together, and one of those is equity. Minnesota has the largest equity and achievement gap in the United States, and we are concerned. We have marginalized communities in this state. And when you think about there's this list that gets published every spring, and it is the top 25, the top 50 high schools in the state of Minnesota. If you look at the first 10, the group of us, a group of 10 of us even, could pin down about the first 10 within about 90% accuracy. And one of the things that we see in Minnesota is because of changes at the state level and the conversations of funding, that a lot of this falls on the shoulders of local taxpayers and property taxes. And we need to inform people on that and those inequities that we see in Minnesota. Wealthier districts are able to take on those burdens of costs. Other districts are not. Other districts that I've even lived in have not been able to do that. So equity is the top concern of mine.
2 concerns of mine from my experience at BHS and what has made it unique would be number 1, the connectivity. I was fortunate to take part in a lot of different activities and be in part of different classes, so building those connections with teachers and other students around me, I think was definitely due to the smaller class sizes that we have now, as well as like a lot of different options for students to take part in and build those connections. With the budget cuts, increasing class sizes because of fewer teachers decrease the chance of having those connections. And for me, connections and relationship really drive the learning and make it a successful experience for everyone. And then lastly, opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities that BHM offers, from classes to extracurricular activities, and a lot of those are going to be removed with these budget cuts, which I think is extremely unfortunate, as those opportunities go beyond learning in the classroom and help students find their passion.
And then lastly, people are feeling a little bit paralyzed. They're not sure yet, how do I start? How do I get involved? This is the opportunity. Take out your phone and take a quick snap of this QR code. We're going to share out the links too a little bit later for this form. But open up a QR reader. If you have an iOS device, you can just, it'll line it up for you in your camera app. So this is a chance for us to get involved. I cannot tell you enough how excited I am to not only collaborate with Allie, but to really engage the community in this important conversation together. I go back to my 3 kiddos, and I want for them to have the same opportunities that Allie had. And I'm really passionate about that.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we hope to see you on June 20th or June 24th, whatever works best for you.
Perfect. Let's be in touch. Happy end of the school year, everybody. See you later.